Getting ready is meant to be fun, but these days for most of us, putting an outfit together is stressing, overwhelming, and frustrating. The outfits we plan in our heads never look 100% like we envisioned. So what is missing? Let's start with the fact that I think all great outfits break one specific rule. And that rule is rooted in the fact that I think at the end of the day, every one of us just wants to have their own place, feel authentic, unique. Nobody wants to be a copycat, but I'll be the first to admit that these days it's been getting harder and harder to just put an outfit together from scratch without going to Pinterest or Instagram or getting some sort of inspiration. And I'm not talking about creating Instagram outfits that are unrealistic for most of us or niche small brands that are way out of budget. I already have a video on how to create your personal style and another one on the cool fashion girl myths into things that they know that quote unquote we don't. But today I just want to focus on pure outfit making. What is it about all of these outfits? Let's try to point a common thread here. Everyone has this hint of like awkwardness, something that is maybe misplaced. And you might not notice that because whenever, and this happens to me all the time, whenever we're seeing outfits online, we don't look at them through the same lens and judgmental brain that we would if we had the things on, even partially because the person has a face that's not ours and we're way more judgmental with our own physique characteristics and looks than we are with anyone else. If you were getting dressed yourself and you had those clothes, you probably wouldn't have paired them together in that exact way. Looking at this one, for example, imagine the girl would have chosen to put a basic t-shirt on it instead of the striped one. With the striped one, what she achieved was pattern on pattern. And pattern on pattern, when we see it in others, looks very cool. Sometimes when we do it in ourselves, we're like, what the heck is going on? We sometimes think there's a way to mix patterns. My humble opinion is that the cool girlies on Instagram that are doing this, they could pair any type of pattern together and we would still like it. So there's not a math to it. It's just having a little bit of guts to do it. Okay, it's actually been a while since I've gotten dressed on camera and shown you in actuality and practicality what I'm talking about. So let's go into my studio and for real, explain what I'm talking about. Editing Maya here to come and say that it's actually been a year and a half since I've made a getting dressed video. So if you do miss these, let me know. This was recorded at my old house. It's crazy how long it's been. I had no idea. Okay, so this was literally what I was wearing to go walk the dogs. This white basic tee with sweatpants. Now, I've decided that I don't want to leave the house without loving my outfit, even if I'm just going out to walk the dog, because I need to practice building outfits that I love. So this is what I did. I put a turquoise baby blue shirt on top and I made it on purpose so that this white one would also show underneath to create like 2 layers. And then I picked a pair of unexpected shoes. These ones right here. A loafery yellow shoe would be very unexpected with sweatpants. And then I put my polka dot bag. Now I have some other clothes here that I want to show you that add that like mismatchy look. And these are actually all from ThredUp. But do not skip this because while I'm going to be talking about the pieces, I'm actually going to be continuing to give you tips. So this is not just a sponsor. This is like part of the video. I was literally on my 2025 vision board to work with ThredUp as like my dream brand to collab with. These beautiful babies were from them. Sorry, we gotta pause. I'm still amazed. These were estimated to cost $290, sold for $21.99. They're Ralph Lauren, as well as the blue shirt. So ThredUp is one of the biggest online secondhand thrift stores, and you can find anything on there from designer goods to actually great vintage discounted finds. Every single item on there is hand processed and photographed by their internal team, so what you see is indeed what you get. During the winter, what I've been trying to do to stay inspired is to, no matter how cold outside it is, dress for joy. Breaking out of the stereotypical puffer jacket and boots to finding things that actually keep me excited. Unexpected pairings, pattern mixing. I don't want to be like saying what everyone already knows, but thrifting to me allows you to understand way better what your actual personal style and taste is, because you're not shopping in a store that has made a pre-curated set of items. You're not shopping micro trends, you're not shopping something that one designer or a small collection of designers have put together. Oh my god. Look at these. This is actually a brand I recommend you search for on there, Soulmates. They cost $100 to $200 on the website, but there's a bunch of them on there. These ones were $22.99. Chances are you're gonna find items that are way more timeless. Plus they're gonna be cheap. I mean, look at the retail prices of these items and how much ThredUp charged for them. Should I make this little cuff here? I feel like it makes it extra awkward. Okay, I just pull them and I think I like that better. There's so much we can do to our clothes without like sewing or cutting things. I just made capris. I think the unexpected thing here is going to be pairing bright yellow with this like almost beige yellow. When we do monochromatic outfits, we usually try to go for shades that are like super similar, or we don't go for like a muted shade of a color with a bright version of that color. Ooh, I had an idea. I put this pinkish, purplish shirt underneath, and I think I'm gonna button the buttons, but then like make it so that the color pops. These little details. But I know this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, so we can also dress this down. Add a pair of jeans, remove the funky socks. I think you got the drill. Basic white skirt, basic black boots. Could be a basic outfit if I was wearing a gray shirt, a white cardigan, but I layered 2 long sleeves here that make it super funky. And if I wanted to make it even more special, I could add these orange flats that are so cute. I favorited a bunch of items that I love, but I ended up not buying. So if you want to check those out, I will leave the links down below. But to find these shoes, for example, I just typed in loafers, filtered by color and size. One of my other favorite features, which actually works very good, is their image search. So you can upload something you saw online that you love, and they will recommend to you similar items. They also have intelligent search, so you can use like normal day-to-day language to look for what you want to find. So shop hundreds of brands for a fraction of the price, all in one place. You can tap the link in the description box and use my code MAIA50 for 50% off your order plus free shipping. This one, for example, you would probably not pair flip-flops with long pants, but let me tell you, the flip-flops here are what make the whole outfit. What I like is the fact that there's an unexpected shoe in it. And with this, I just want to like give you ideas of things that will put you in that wire brain mode of pairing a little awkward thing. Here, for example, something I've been seeing people do a lot that I really like is pairing a very vibrant color with very muted tones. Very bright green with something gray. At least in my head, I kind of separate the people who like dress colorful and the people who have like a more muted down wardrobe, and I love both styles, but I feel like I personally used to never see them exist in the same world, and I think it looks so fun and again a little unexpected. This girl's doing my absolute favorite like formula, which is to pair something super masculine looking with something super feminine looking. I'm not saying like I think about all of this when I'm getting ready or making an outfit. I just think it's cool to analyze, and then it will kind of get ingrained in our subconscious. If she would have paired this very like fairy tale-y shorts with a very girly top, it would have still been super cute, but it wouldn't have the sauce. These pants, and this is like a very basic example, but it's also very easy to recreate. These pants for day to day, I'm gonna argue they aren't even practical. If it's raining, they're gonna get wet. They're literally cleaning the floor as you walk, but the look it gives is irreplaceable. If she would have worn this outfit with regular sized pants, I wouldn't have clicked on it. We tend to mute down colors by having like a pop of color and then doing like the accessories, the bag, the shoes in other tones. Usually when we already have a very colorful base, we don't think of like taking it even a further step out and adding like an even more vibrant color thing to finish the look, which is what she did here. She had a colorful top with a colorful skirt, and instead of going from like brown boots, she went with like bright turquoise ones. Okay, so this one, I'm not gonna like spend a lot of time with each image. Polka dots and red are naturally correlated to a feminine look, and these pants, which are in a army green, very loose silhouette, are mask, so works super well. Again, here it could have been a great outfit if she paired this top with like a also colorful bottom, but the fact that she contrasted like the colorful look with this very like non-happy looking skirt, I think made all the difference. I think a lot of us probably pin images like this on our Pinterest and we're like, oh, she looks so good, I should get a pair of baggy pants. And then we go get the baggy pants, but the pants are just like a little baggy, a little large, but they're not like fully balloony like these. And then we wonder why we never feel as cool as the things that we're getting inspired by online. And it's because we're not fully committing. I don't want to be repeating myself because I already said this in one of my videos, but like we're buying watered down versions of what we actually love because we're afraid of committing to the thing we actually love, but that's a bit too like, ew. This might seem silly to reference, but I think wearing baseball caps and any type of like summer hat when you're wearing winter clothes, it's a bit weird. It's not going to be sunny, so why are you wearing a hat for the sun? Any outfit that you can tell someone did something very on purpose. Yes, getting dressed should be easy. It should be effortless. It should be like a breeze. You shouldn't have to think about it. You should be able to go to your closet and put an outfit together you love in 3 seconds. But when you love fashion, my theory is that the more you love it, the more critical you become about whatever decisions you're making. It's not even about there being a right or wrong way to pair something, but your own taste gets pickier and pickier. Here you might not, again, notice it because you're like, it's just a cool girl. But if you look at it and you look at the pants, you're going to notice the pants are extremely short. But because you have the boots, you kind of don't notice that that's the reason. I love it. I love that she's wearing boots that are high with pants that are just high enough to show the length of the boots. Because usually I would have chosen to wear these types of taller boots with shorts and skirts or just long pants. Here I think no one would think to pair, at least I wouldn't have thought, to pair a skirt that is super bright with also equally bright tights. I think if I were to have done this outfit, I would have just put in regular skin tone tights. Then here we can just think about any normal muted tone office outfit. Have you ever thought of pairing a sequin skirt with it? This is out of place. The thing that makes us look at someone and be like, she looks so fun, is the fact that we don't see her not being confident in what she's wearing. When we invite people to question whether we're confident or not with what we're wearing, that is the only time that you might not look cool. When we are unsure of something, people can tell. When we are wearing something because we think it's cool, but we don't actually feel good in it, and that little look of doubt in your face, I think that strongly determines how then you're perceived by others. Like, I've never seen someone with an outfit that was like absurd, quote unquote, look very confident and feel like I could even judge it or like say anything negative in my brain. I'm not saying you need to go wear a sequin skirt to your office job tomorrow, but there's so many things we can do that feel misplaced that we wouldn't usually do. Regular short length coat with pants, if you put a very colorful shirt underneath it and let it peek, unexpected. I think these types of cuts at the bottom are a bit unusual, so the fact that she paired two pieces that have the same cut at the end looks very intentional because they're both doing like a V at the bottom. A very flowy material with a very not flexible material. Again, pattern on pattern. I bet you have some sort of animal print thing in your closet, and I also bet that you've never paired it with any shirt with a pattern that you have. A sports tee with a skirt. A very long top with very short pants. This could also be, even though I don't think it would be practical for real life, pairing something that's like super winter coated with something that's super summer coated, as long as like it works for the weather. A long sleeve that's not too hot that you can wear with any type of shorts that are like actually short shorts. I've just stopped looking at my face when I look in the mirror evaluating an outfit because some days I will just hate my face. I just won't like how I look. And I'm not even evaluating the outfit. I'm just evaluating how my hair and my face are pairing with my clothes, which I don't do when I'm looking at someone else. I'm just too attached to my own image. Yeah, simple as this, when you're using two items that are very like feminine, basic, classic, and then pairing a more sporty, cool looking sneaker with it. The pants here are super light looking. They're very thin. They're very springish, and then springish. And then the sweater is super chunky. I love this girl. She's Portuguese. I have a parasocial relationship with her. I would love to be her friend. She does this in a very interesting way because her style is already super colorful, super like pattern on pattern, vibrant, happy, but she's still able to add a mismatched element in the middle of her already very full of personality style. Here, for example, she's wearing pattern on pattern or like texture on texture, and then she's adding another pattern on her back, and then she's gonna wear, if you see it on her hand, a striped cardigan or like jacket or something. Here again, same. Love. For those who really like fashion, which I assume if you're watching this you do, we need to give ourselves time to play dress up. Get a friend to come to your house and be like, let's make outfits with my clothes, and then look at whatever they paired together because it's probably going to be so different from what you usually pair those items with. Don't forget to use my code MAIA50 for 50% off your order at ThredUp plus free shipping. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.